Hi, good afternoon. My name is Adetokunbo Adule, and today I will talk about how the Supreme Court and its recent rulings have impacted our government and how it will over the next 50 years. I'm applying to the Bertelino Impact Government Scholarship, and I shall begin. The Supreme Court is a branch of our government that makes decisions on people's rights based on what is stated in the Constitution. I call it the final stand. They have the power to overturn previous rulings if they find that they violate people's rights that were stated in the Constitution. They've recently moved towards giving states the power to govern themselves, and we see an example of this in the overturning of Roe v. Wade, giving the states the power to make their own abortion laws. Another example of this is the Virginia versus EPA ruling, which limited the EPA's ability to regulate emissions from power plants across all the states. Both of these decisions shift power away from the federal government and move them towards the states making decisions for themselves. The National Federation of Independent Business versus Sebelius limited the federal government's ability to acquire all 50 states to expand Medicare programs. This ruling gave states more power to govern themselves and make their own healthcare systems. With the Supreme Court leaning more towards states' rights with some of their decisions, this could have a positive and negative effect on our country. A positive being that the empowering of states' rights to regulations would allow for the better reflection of the diverse values that each 50 states holds and prioritizes. The different regions of the country are able to promote better control and more effective responses from its individuals who it affects with these rules and regulations when they are moved to when their states are allowed to make their own rights. However, I think the negatives outweigh the positives because we already live in a very partisan country, and that's very diverse. And with states being allowed to govern themselves, problems that transcend across state borders like climate change may become more difficult to address without a strong federal oversight, as well as coordination. Focuses on states' rights could make it more difficult to have a baseline and maintain a consistent national minimum with standards and various rules, making it a race for states to attract business with less strictening rules. My sources were pulled from BBC, Politico, and NPR, and this video was recorded on my iPhone and tripod. Thank you for your time.